Hello, beautiful people. I'm here to share today something that wanted to come through for a really long time, and now I finally found the moment to share it with you. So, the main point of this message is to convey that there are energies and people, entities, groups of people, maybe parties, clubs, communities that hold power or like to hold more power, and especially for people being on a healing journey, having their spiritual awakening, becoming more conscious, doing their healing work. It can be tricky not to fall into manipulation of these energies, of these entities or people, groups, communities. So if you find yourself being energetically open, being vulnerable in this way, in a beautiful way, but definitely vulnerable, then be extra aware of where you put your trust, where you spend your time, and with what kind of energies and people you exchange your precious energy. Because as a person with this soul imprint, let's call it like that, wanting to heal in this lifetime and wanting to become, to awaken, to become conscious, you hold a lot of power and you hold a lot of potential to change the world in a really massive way. And so you could become a target for other energies, people, even healers in power positions that like to hold more energy and with this power, or that like to sustain their standing, so to say, in the world of energies. So be super aware that you are a diamond that is being formed right now in this phase of your awakening. You are really, really precious in your energy and in your potential that you are holding to really make a difference, to bring really good to the world, to people, to planet Earth, in whatever your personal way is. And so be aware that people that vibrate in a high frequency, like love or peace, even people that form communities where other people also come together and look good and eat healthy and do healthy things and exercise and create art, even in this scenario that seems really peaceful and might be actually peaceful in a moment, it doesn't mean that this scenario, that this person, this healer, or this group of people, this spiritual community, for example, it doesn't mean that this scenario is actually peaceful, sustainably for yourself and for the world. It doesn't mean that this scenario, this cult maybe, probably wouldn't call itself a cult, or let's just call it a community, for example. It doesn't mean just because it is peaceful in a moment, or just because people look healthy and beautiful and are opening their hearts, maybe with energetic work, it doesn't mean that it is sustainably and in a safe way healing for yourself and for the world. It could be quite the opposite, actually. It could be really harmful for yourself and thus for the world, because as a person that is on a healing journey as you are, whatever you do to yourself, if you're healing yourself, you are healing the world. And if you let your energy and your healing potential be taken by other energies or people with a less pure intention, maybe with an egocentric intention, or with an approach to the world that is less of innocence and less of devotion to the divine, really, then it affects the world, right? Because you do have this great power as a person awakening, and so you hold a lot of responsibility to love yourself and to take care of yourself, because what you do to yourself is affecting the world so much. And sometimes we don't know better, and then the best way to go forward is to forgive ourselves. But in my case, I feel responsible to share this because I didn't know better at a specific point of my journey, and now my way is to forgive myself for that, and also to share what I learned in order for others to not make the same mistakes. So if you ever feel drawn to a good vibe, to a high vibe, to love, to peace, always have in mind that energies can be manipulated. It doesn't mean just because they are high in frequency that they directly come from source and that they directly come from the divine. This is not true. They can be manipulated, and they can actually come from a really dark place, and they, like a drug, for example, to make it a little more tangible, or to give another example, if you have a drug, it can make you feel so high vibe. You can actually be in the frequency of love through a drug, through a legal drug, through an illegal drug, however. But if you actually had the opportunity to check out the way it came to you, and where it comes from, and through what hands it went in order to get to you, and what happened in the process of the producing the drug, everything that is attached to this process, you would probably there's a great chance for you to see, wow, I feel love right now on this drug, like really love. I'm just in a frequency of love. It's just like that. I feel great. But the drug actually, people had to suffer in order for this drug to come your way. The planet had to suffer in order for you to experience this high vibe now. So then the question is, this is probably in this moment love and peace, but it is not love, it is not peace. If we understand love and peace to be something that is sustainable for yourself and for everything that exists. So it is like a manipulated kind of love, or not directly coming from source, from divine, from God. So this is really crucial to know. You could find a community where you have this effect through plants that are maybe taken there, plant medicine, or maybe rituals that are going on there, energetic work, and it's possible to be at a place with people that really evokes the feeling of magic and of love and of peace and of healing, And certainly it can have components of healing to it. The question is, where does this healing that you might experience there with the people, where does this freed energy of light, where does it go? And will it be distributed to a place that you might not know of, that is actually not serving the world, you know? So there are structures that we mostly are not aware of, and the spiritual journey and the spiritual communities and the spiritual esoteric world can be really tricky and really risky. And so my way, I found it to be the safest to really put all my trust and my energy and my love and devotion not to a person, not to a group of people, but actually to a higher power, and to really keep this final chamber of my divine core essence, to really keep it safe for myself, and be aware that everything else but God, everything else but higher power, everything else but the divine realms can be manipulated and can be seemingly innocent but not coming from a pure place. And so it could not be safe to put your heart and your precious energy there. So it's the best just to, in my experience, to really rely on the direct connection to the higher power, not through a group of people, not through a person, not through a healer, not through a shaman, but really just to pray for yourself, doing your own rituals for yourself. Learning from people is great. I wouldn't have experienced many important steps on my journey without people. Wow. So, yeah, we can learn so much from each other, but it's important not to put anybody on a pedestal, and you do this if you don't know exactly where the person is coming from or the group of people that you are trusting with your precious energy. Because if you heal through a person's work, then the person is actually, you are serving the person in a way, you know. If you are healing yourself through another person's energetic work or whatever the person does or give to you, then you're actually serving the person with this precious energy that you are now letting free, that is now being freed, because there have been blockages in you, there have been cutting cords or blockages have been removed by this healer, by this shaman, by this ritual. So now this energy that is flowing out of you, this pure light energy, good, potent life force energy, is actually serving the person, or could be serving the person. So there are many people taking advantage. So, and we mostly don't know this, and we don't feel it, and most people don't know of this. I really took a deep dive into this whole thing. So I was shocked to understand many things and realize and see and experience many things behind the curtains. And I can tell you, the world, the cultures, there are many different cultures and many different people, and we don't know. So we just really have to be super cautious and aware and take care of ourselves and not take any risk, you know, in this place. Like when it comes to your heart, to your heart's energy, to your safe space, to your trust, to your essence, I recommend not to take any risk with it, but to really just devote yourself to higher power and to God, and to be super cautious where you put your time and energy and with what people you connect. Always listen to your intuition, but also know that you don't know much, and that you hold a lot of responsibility for yourself, because you have a lot of power, and you don't know if people actually know more about your potential of power than you know. So yeah, this is not about fear or about being super negative or anything like that. It's just being realistic. Realistic is the way to go, and so I can recommend not to because it's it's easy to be on the spiritual journey, to awaken, and to finally discover and experience your own light and the light of the world and the true nature of things and how beautiful actually life is, and to kind of look behind the curtains, the black curtains of past traumas and societal conditioning, to open them up and to see how beautiful the world is. And so experiencing that, it only makes sense for us to become really loving and to become trusting and wanting to share this with others, and this beautiful mindset and this beautiful heart that we have and we are, this can be taken advantage of, and it will be taken probably advantage of if we don't take responsibility for us to be safe and secure, and because that's just how things are going. We have parasites like worms and stuff, if we eat the wrong things from like really dirty places, because we are oblivious to the fact that there are parasites. Then they will probably be happy to have a nice new home in our body. So there are also energetic parasites and energy vampires, these terms. So be aware that if we don't know something, it's better to be always in the mindset, I don't know much, and I'm gonna be careful with my energy, because it's the highest asset that I have. It's the highest value that it's a great value that I have, not the highest, but it's just a great value, and with this you can do so many great things in the world and for yourself. And so you deserve, and we deserve, to be happy and healthy, and don't let it not be taken by anybody else who doesn't have great intentions with us. So this is the message. I'm happy that you listen to it. I really hope I can help, and people can just learn or be enlightened by my horrible life's lessons that brought me here. Okay, a lot of love to you, and talk to you soon.